I was 21 years old the last time I ever saw anyone alive. Grandfather spoke of how the earth would reclaim what was hers before the humans ruined it all. I remember listening to those stories as a young boy when I went to visit. Can't help but think back to those times. Even now, after all these years, I look around and I still don't understand why I'm here. In 2002, there was a great flood that wiped out all of mankind. It left the earth covered in a blanket of water that receded as quickly as it came, leaving behind this wasteland I live in today. I walked this continent many times over in search of life, without any luck. I stayed as far from the water as I could, but there was no real escape from it anywhere. I returned to where my home was every winter for the mild temperatures. A partial frame of the house I lived in with my parents still remained. Father knew how to build them. I'd sleep in what used to be my old bedroom. Hard to believe this is where I grew up. This property becoming more of a faint memory as the years took away what was left behind. I kept a journal with me and wrote in it ever so often, so that I could remember how to communicate in case I ever ran into anyone. This night I wrote what would be my final entry, leaving most of the last page blank, and setting it next to an old radio I found. I curled up on the hard floor, with the radio and journal high above me on the shelf that faced the window, and went to sleep. I was awakened by a scratching static from the radio. It pulled me out of my dream, confusing me at first. The sun was already high overhead, and it shined on my face as I leapt to my feet and darted for the radio. Listening, I grabbed it and ran out of the house, circling the yard in a mad dash, trying to get a better reception. I quickly gained perspective of the situation, grabbed my bag, and headed in the direction I thought the source was coming from. I walked through familiar spots that I'd passed many times before, long roads of water, open fields of nothing, stopping to fine-tune the radio, hoping to get closer to what was out there calling me. I found my way into a patch of bamboo, thinking it was a shortcut. The noise stayed at a constant hum. I wandered for days in there, sunset after sunset. I'd gone in so deep that I couldn't turn around and find my way back. My signal was fading out, and I was losing the only hope I had. After a short time, I rose to my feet and continued to walk, trying to find it again. I soon came out of the bamboo disoriented and weak, traveling for what seemed like an eternity. The years before this had passed quickly, and now these days seemed to creep by. I came out and ended up at the river bottom. The signal was all jumbled with the water, rushing all around me. I reached a point where I could see a peak, and I thought if I reached it, I might get a better idea of where I was going to go next. I climbed that hill with the last ounce of strength I had and reached the top. I looked towards the horizon, then I saw it.